sure that it's live. Wait, you don't have candy? Hey, welcome in, everybody. Tonight is the Star Wars game, Star Wars Manifest, where I play a banished Sith underling on a faraway planet. I'm going to get better at that intro. I also play with Mira, Cole, Pitter, Kanor, and Charl, or Char for short. So welcome in. I'm going to let everybody else talk, and let's get this party started. Yeah, I was just doing an intro. But, yeah, we're alive.
Mustard!
Why do you always tell him yes when he asks that question?
Because from now on, what I'm going to
You're only
do...
encouraging him.
Have you not learned by now that he's gonna do some ridiculous ass shit when he asks, "Hey, are we live?"
Who said that you guys were unmuted yet?
Ah! And you said you were live, so
He's gonna do it
normally
again.
what
Is
that
what's
means.
gonna happen.
It is what he's doing.
No, I've
Just
been
don't
live
let him know.
before. I've been live before and just not had you guys
I know.
volume.
All right, let me know when we're unmuted then.
Don't do that.
There's nothing I can do, otherwise we're not gonna wind up playing. So we were unmuted when you did your last thing, but
Okay.
if you want to do it again, you can.
No. It's as long as they heard, they know what time it is. As long as they
Okay.
know that. As long as all the fans, the viewers at home, are aware that Mustard is indeed, in fact, on the beat, yo.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't
Sure.
bother me. Like I said, as
What?
long as it's
That's
not.
That's not even controversial.
I
It's
said
just...
it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me when you yell and do that stuff. As long as there's no politics, I don't care.
Okay.
I guess it's the politics between Kendrick and Drake, but that's more social politics.
That's not politics.
That's politics in my mind.
Hey, yo, fuck Canada. No, I'm kidding.
Kendrick and Drake is politics to you?
At this point,
I'm
if it's
more
in the
invested
Left
news,
and right
they're
makes politics to you?
people-
What the fuck?
people-
Politics?
Hey guys.
Come on, man.
Kendrick v. Drake is politics to me because at least in that one, the good guy won. Welcome back to Star Wars Manifest, everybody. I'm going to be your GM for this evening. The Gray Bear. As always, our players, Cole Monteros, Kanor C. Jack, Kazron, no last name, Mira Lunar, Pitter Patter, and Char Endura. What is up, everybody? How we doing this evening? It's been a while.
Yo.
It's been a minute.
It sure has.
I am recovered from the illness.
Me too.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, that
Me
plagued me
zero.
the
I
whole
didn't
bit
get
of
sick.
time.
I'm not a pussy.
Wow.
The bully.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You told me you were sick. You were just too stubborn to stop doing anything.
No, Daniel got sick.
All right, so where did we leave
I
off?
got my flu shot, so I've been fine this entire time.
Let's see. Last time we.
You and your
Hold on, I have to skim my notes.
your medicine and your science.
How dare
Yep.
you?
I know, right?
Let's see. Last time the fight ended.
Look at
We
this.
went to the doctor to get fixed up, and
Did I actually finish getting fixed up? Or did we
Yes.
just... Yes.
Probably.
So does
I
that
think
mean
so.
my
You-
consequences are removed? Or do I hold on to those?
What
Where do you rename them to something else and then you hold on to it for like a couple
Let me.
seconds?
Well, no. Let me just
What is
say. Are you talking about your stress boxes or your consequences?
My actual consequences.
What consequences do you have marked off right now?
What levels and what are they named?
No, my stress boxes are gone. But my consequences is I have a minor gash down the arm and a blaster shot to the chest.
You may remove both of those. The minor consequences, as a reminder,
Sorry.
get wiped out every hour or so.
The second one is a moderate.
I know. The moderates only get removed after like a few hours to a couple days, unless you spend resources to accrue the services of Doc Smiley, which of course you did.
Okay. So I can then remove those completely.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting. I just was.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
These
Yeah.
transgressions have been noted and will be reviewed by the council.
So we finished the fight. We took Hazron to get fixed by the doctor, which I think he was the only one actually injured by the end of the fight.
Sounds about right.
Now it's fine.
And we got Shard to meet the doc,
While you're eating.
and they started getting along. And then we heard 3 blaster shots from outside and went to go investigate. Oh, and also the lights went out and Doc Smiley shorted out, so that's very unfortunate. So we definitely need to find out what's happening.
And the doc's a special guest star.
I do enjoy what do you call it? I do enjoy the fact that out of everything, Pitter's main like priority is getting Doc Smiley on the mend.
Yeah. And also possibly getting their mini tiny hand on the lightsaber they have just witnessed existing.
Yeah, you just witnessed a completely theoretical piece of technology that is a nuclear reactor / plasma torch that fits in your pocket and burns completely cold.
Yeah. And I have so many pockets to fit it in. I think I kind of need it.
Many pockets.
And I managed to shield myself from all of you.
But yeah, also, you walked outside and discovered after 3 blaster shots, the sheriff of the town laying dead in the middle of the street. The town gave
Yeah, he died.
the town pitch black around you.
Dang, did I forget to put that in my notes? I should probably add that.
Wait, did you forget that he was dead?
They got the important part.
I remember that he got killed.
No, the important part. Doc Smiley is down.
I remember now because I remember making the joke. They shot the sheriff, but not the deputy. But apparently, oh wait, no, it is there. It's the last line. I just didn't read it right now. Yep. Well, the others rush out and find the sheriff dead in the street. But I did mention that Pitter was distracted by rushing to check on Doc Smiley. So that's it. Why I forgot it for a bit.
Yes.
We got the important stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, we got Doc Smiley, we got the lightsaber. What else did Pitter really need to know?
I mean, I also have my giant buzzsaw, which I believe I spent a little bit of downtime taking the bowl out of it. So that's useful again.
You do. You now have a giant for those of you at home who need a visual reference, imagine one of those giant buzzsaw or circular saws that's used to cut concrete.
And also for a funny image, you know that one scene where there's Stitch and he holds up a giant chainsaw? Think about that.
That's certainly the vibe.
Yeah.
Like if we want to go purely off a vibe check, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you guys do? There is a moment, like a singular moment of icy calm, before the town sort of just explodes into people looking outside, realizing what's happened, and it just going into a full panic.
Fuck.
I remind you as well, like I said, there are this entire town. So to give you an idea of to refresh your memory of the sort of topography, this entire town was an artificial settlement that was more or less dropped from orbit, pretty much completely prefab. So like the floor is basically a sheet of metal / linoleum.
Oh, even the street?
Everything, because the actual topography of the world kind of blows up randomly. So they needed to just prefab. So this entire town was made by the Separatists as artificial. There are no lights on anywhere. Like, not even like little dim sci-fi rigmarole LEDs. Like, it is pitch black aside from the stars above you.
What happened to the lights?
That's what we need to find out.
I think that's more important than the sheriff right now. 'Cause that means we have no power, and that means more people are going to die if we don't fix that part.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Great. Like I said, a riot is sort of not a full riot, but like a massive people trying to like rush out to see what's going on at the same time as other people like fleeing to get back inside. And it's starting to get quite a commotion. You do, in fact, see the deputy who I mentioned earlier. Looks to be human, kind of on the scrawny side. Big like bug eyes amplified. You see like the for those of you who understand the reference, Maz Kanata like welding goggles over his eyes. They give him sort of that bug eye effect. Like rushing forward, trying to push through the crowd as you hear him shouting about like, what have you posted? Oh hell yeah. Hey yo, everyone! Not that you can see. Oh, actually, you can see this. Hell yeah! Shout outs to Kazaron for the cool overlay.
And
Who made it?
yeah. The shout out actually goes to Liz.
Hell yeah, Liz.
Lizzie.
Liz, you're a real one.
Yeah.
Many thanks.
She does all of my artwork.
When is she joining the stream? As Grandma Market or some shit.
Ayo, Liz, design us more cool shit, and I'll let you kill one character of your choice.
I think right now she's playing Valorant. So, yeah.
That sounds way lamer than D&D.
It's actually not.
You could at least be playing. You could at least be playing Marvel Rivals and slamming gigantic 3D ass.
She does that too.
Sick. Anyway, yeah. Shoutouts to Liz. You're a real one. Not that you would know because you don't watch the stream.
She does normally. But
I mean,
anyway.
It's not in the episode where we're giving her props for her work.
Right, just not this one where she's actually anyway.
But yeah, so he is sort of, you see him getting like shoved side to side in the middle of the crowd, like kind of like I said, he's on the scrawnier side, so he's like kind of trying to wave his hands up to like get people to pay attention, but it's become clear that law and order have sort of broken down in this moment as you watch him get to a point where he can view the body and then sort of drop the pretense and panic to like run over and start checking him to like, holy shit, and like, is he really dead, is he alive? Like, just this is someone who really wasn't ever prepared for this eventuality to come about and equally doesn't know how to handle it.
Nice.
Man, I understand that the sheriff was pretty much perpetually busy, but he should have made a bit more time to train his deputy.
Maybe.
But that's just my thoughts. Peter is otherwise busy with Doc Smiley, and as soon as they realize there's nothing they can currently do to fix Doc Smiley, then they will come outside to see the panicking masses.
So yeah, there's nothing you can really do at the moment. If you want to roll me let's say a crafting check, difficulty 2.
6.
Oh fuck yeah. So this was let me be very clear. This was not to fix Doc Smiley.
I understand.
This was to ascertain what happened to him and how bad the damage was.
Yes.
Doc Smiley was a very old model of medical droid that was purchased basically at a Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was an antique in the Clone Wars, and he is being mostly held together with duct tape and children's prayers because there is a reason why the clone in the back of this shop is not named Mechanic. You ever seen like an extension cord where it's like mostly duct
Hey,
tape
Boss
instead of
Muffin.
insulation?
I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I can picture it.
Like the most beater ass extension cord possible. I'm an electrician. I've seen extension cords that literally you plug them in and they spark, and the guy who uses it just goes, "It always does that at first. Just don't worry about it." Right? That's the charging station that Doc Smiley has been using, more or less.
That's
There
all.
was a massive surge in power that was far more than what Doc Smiley was designed to take. And in fact, you crack open his chassis, basically. You look inside, you actually see that several of the pieces of critical hardware, like the various chips and, computer parts that are used to make him work, have melted from the heat.
Oh,
Doc Smiley
man.
fucked up.
Uh,
Doc
I will
Smiley's down.
I will tell you, he is not unsalvageable. Like his primary, like the parts of him that hold his programming and his ability to operate as he does are still working because they are more shielded. But pretty much everything that allows him to do that and to interface with his hardware is down.
Motor function stuff.
Like I said, he just surged the fuck out of this, and I will say, because you got such a high roll, this is not a normal power surge from just a bad plug. It would be you're looking at it, and it would be very easy for someone of inferior skill to look at this and go, oh yeah, like they just, like maybe there was a power surge, something happened, and he just fried a little bit. No, this is like 6 times the amount of juice that is supposed to be flowing through this robot all at the same time.
Poor Doc
Yeah.
Smiley.
Yeah, because like first reaction.
He effectively got hit by lightning. Like imagine if your laptop got struck by a bolt of lightning.
So Pitter's initial reaction to like opening up and seeing all this damage is like an eye twitch as they take in all of this information, and just like, I could have fixed this beforehand, and then follows back down to the charging cord and sees how totally fried it is and fully understands what happens. And was like, I could not have fixed it that much ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then looks back and is very, very tempted to take all of the parts that contain Doc Smiley's personality out of this.
I will tell you, with a 6, I will actually let you do that if you want to, but there is no actual. Well, first of all, you would be robbing the guy who owns it.
That is the hesitation. Because
second of all, I will say, second of all, it's not like the place where you are living is any better, like your workshop area. It's not like it's dramatically better equipped to repair him than he is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, you think maybe there's, some sort of specialty tools around that might have come with him to use.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, outside, does anybody want to interface at all with what's going on, or are you just sort of all taking this in?
Yeah.
Is there any obvious reason that the power would be out right now? Like from the visual street.
Seems like it
Hang on, there's a lot of echoing. I'm gonna need it one at a time.
So, is there any like visual indicator to why the power has gone out, like from the street view, like a sparking kind of deal?
Roll me a notice. Oh, okay. You can roll me notice if you just kind of want to look around and get a general feel of things. It is investigate if you want to get a specific piece of information off of a specific subject.
Okay, so it's gonna be notice.
It's gonna be notice. I'm gonna need a. Don't roll it yet. Let me see.
Okay, you have a 1 in both.
I'm going to ask for 3.
Okay.
Not really. I mean,
-3.
power's out. It's dark. No, it's dark as shit. I mean, you're doing the same thing that every sapient species on every planet have done since the dawn of electricity when the power goes out, which is you're standing like a schmuck in the middle of the street, looking up at the power line, trying to figure out what happened despite having no knowledge of how the electrical grid works.
Yep.
It's the same thing that lonely dads across this country have done since the dawn of man.
Question.
Yes.
The blaster shot.
Correct.
Did we, other than the sheriff, were there any other marks? Do we notice, like, did they miss twice? Or
so are you?
I'm looking into that.
No. So I'm asking, when you say marks, are you like looking around in
Blaster
the
shots.
street?
Yeah. Because I'm
what's-
assuming the sheriff's laying there in the middle of the road.
The sheriff is laying in the middle of the road. The deputy is standing over him, trying to keep people from stepping on his corpse.
Fair enough. My question is, like, can I see like 3 specific distinct blaster shots on him, or is it just like one big blaster shot? Or
From where you are in front of the docks place, I'm gonna ask for a notice of. I'm gonna ask for a notice of 3 again. If you want to try and talk your way into getting closer, not 2 actually. It's a 2 for a notice. If you want to like talk your way to get close enough to inspect his body, you can roll an investigation. But it's gonna be hard at the moment just because there's so much happening, and also
okay,
you're kind of off to the side trying to be low key about this, I assume.
yeah, a bit.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll go.
like I said, if you want to just walk over and be like, hey,
I
let me
mean,
see the
yeah,
body.
actually, kind of like at this point, I'm tired of my skulking. Like, I'm not going to do anything that's going to be obvious, that's going to like force wise, but I'm tired of the I have
Cloak and
questions.
dagger.
I have questions. I need answers.
I'll go with you
Okay.
to talk to the deputy.
Yeah, that might not hurt. Because I do look shady as fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go over there and talk to the deputy.
Is anybody else going over with them?
I feel like I probably should.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Considering there is nothing I can currently do with Doc Smiley, I will trudge after said party. I'm still very upset about this, but like, I'll go with them.
Great. Yeah, so you guys walk over. Oh, Kano, are you going as well?
Oh yeah.
Great. So you guys walk over to him. He's standing there like, "Oh, hi. People, everyone." Like he's sort of wide-eyed nervousness is not helped by the just giant bug-eye goggles he's got on. All right, people, remain calm. Just try to form an orderly queue back to your, wherever it is you were, and just go back there. All right. Don't be like going around and causing all this ruckus. As he looks over, sees all of you approaching, he doesn't recognize you first. He goes, folks, remain back, stay where you are, and decease and some or other.
Deputy, we're here to help.
He looks and he goes, hey, you was the ones that went out to help them.
Yeah.
Went out to event. He goes, all right. And he goes, well, I'm not sure I can let you in on this right now.
Yes, you can.
Handle the civilians.
No, as he just kind of goes, I guess I can. Like that moment of like, I need an adult. I'm the adult.
Oh no!
I don't think you have much choice in the matter when it comes to letting us in.
No, a threat from the.
No, this isn't a threat. You are very clearly understaffed.
No, but it came across great. He looks at you like a threat, and you're like, you're literally the only other employee in this town. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, well. It's like, is that a threat? You're being threatened, but not by us, by the situation.
Let us handle the investigation. You handle the civilians. You know these people better than I do.
He says, to be honest, and he looks down and looks really, as cold as this sounds, the sheriff ain't going anywhere. I could more just use some help with all this.
Okay.
And he goes, who turned off the damn lights?
I don't know.
Yes.
Well, sheriff ain't going anywhere, but his killer sure is. And they could be back.
I mean,
Question.
he nods and like, yeah.
We'll split up. We'll do more damage
Yeah.
that way.
Wait. You're supposed to be
Hang on,
trying
That's
to
exactly what I was gonna be
orderly
suggesting.
fashion, pitter patter. What were you asking?
I was going to offer to help and like pull like a megaphone out of my pocket so we can be heard over the crowd.
She has a
Please,
megaphone.
please roll me resources difficulty 1.
One.
Fantastic.
Wait, what are you doing?
Pulling out a megaphone so we can be heard over the crowd.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm decided that your for when you level up next and you get the chance to reallocate your stats. I'm letting you know I'm deciding that resources is going to be the skill that accesses your hammer space robot.
Cool.
Oh.
That allows you to reach in Looney Tunes style and just pull out any electronic gizmo that you could need.
Okay. Give me a second to write that down. Remember.
The zanier the object, the higher the roll is going to be. A megaphone or like a speaker, it's like, yeah, you might have like a walkie-talkie hooked up to a speaker in your robot somewhere. That's plausible. A plasma grenade? You might need to roll for that a bit. Literally an entire tank.
That's
that
gonna
is
be
the
a 10.
Resources is the general sort of hammer space ability to access your bag of bullshit.
Bag of bullshit.
Alright.
Cool. So I'm gonna press the little button so it makes that loud screechy noise.
I was gonna say, I will say, because technically you did tie, that is gonna mean you succeeded a minor cost, and that means it's gonna have the attention people, followed by the loud feedback noise, just because I find it funny. It's not a super real consequence. It's just one that I find kind of funny. Is that before you make the situation better, you do have to make it just a little worse.
Yeah. Loud screechy noise that hurts my ears and probably the other people who have inferior hearing too. And then I started speaking into it. Please return to your homes. Pretend like this is such a bad thing to say. Pretend like it was the earlier situation and just go into lockdown. That's safer.
Oh my god.
Pretend go back into your homes. Pretend it's just a violent gang raid.
Yeah, that's better than this. At least I was organized.
I am desperately going to need is it persuasion or diplomacy in this game? I forget. Let me just look up what
Rapport.
Is it? Oh, that's right. I am desperately going to need, I will say honestly, rapport or even provoke could work with this, and I'm gonna need an overcome.
What about an undercome?
I rolled a 3.
We're in Zuko.
No.
Wow.
I'm gonna say everyone's pretty freaked out, so I'm going to give this an active modifier, akin to rolling with the great skill. So I'm gonna give it a 4 modifier, because you're essentially rolling. I'm setting the DC for this.
Okay.
By rolling.
What's up?
By rolling.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll basically a provoke roll for the crowd.
Oh.
Like I'm gonna roll in reverse, and like the 4 represents how freaked out they are, and I think this constitutes a great.
Yeah, they're pretty freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! I hate my life.
We got a 4.
No, I'm going to throw myself into the sea.
Uh-oh.
So
Ruh-roh.
you can if you want. No, I think that's just a straight up fail.
Well, I mean, they could spend fate points if they wanted
Oh
to.
no, you're right. You know what? Thank you for keeping me honest, Pitter Patter. Would you like to spend any fate points?
Let's see. I did offer to help in this situation. And I feel like I don't spend enough fate points in this game.
You should.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll spend the fate points.
That way you can get more drama later when you can the DM goes, "This is gonna fuck you over. You want a fate point for it?"
Yeah.
Love
I say, oh, you wanted to roll for that. How much do you want to roll for it?
Yeah, I suppose I should help in engineering those moments. I play too safely usually.
Yeah. But so what fate point would you like to roll? Like what are your abilities do you think is relevant here?
Um
Yeah, I have 0 fate points.
well, my trouble is helpful to a fault.
Look at your trouble as a positive.
That is a thing.
I don't know if that specifically is relevant towards making what you said any less distressing.
Yeah.
What
I
you
realize
can
that
do-
probably just makes it worse.
You can use a fate point in that, like, this is a microphone constructed by you, and so it's mega super loud.
You know what? I'll allow it. That like it's just by the sheer volume of people you can reach.
Mhm.
I will allow that. So if you want to do a +2, you will tie and be able to succeed at a minor cost. If you would like to not do that, then you can, or if you want to re-roll, you can go for that as well. To try and just
You got to
straight up
really high
succeed.
roll. There's no reason to re-roll then.
You can also succeed at a major cost, I believe.
I mean, yeah, you can succeed with a major cost with this 3 to 5, yeah, without spending any points.
But if I spend the points, there's more drama later.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's always more drama.
I'll
That's
go
the way
ahead.
the group works, and it's amazing.
I'll just go ahead and spend the points then.
So how many? Wait, just 1?
Does it increase by like?
Is it no, so it is an increase by 2 for each fate point that you add, but you cannot use the same justification twice. So if you want to spend a second fate point, you need to come up with a new thing that you're doing to help. Like
Different aspect.
a different reason why you're helping.
Well, specifically in game terms, you can only use each aspect can
Yes,
devote.
that's correct. I was trying to put it more in like the
Yeah.
I was trying to put it differently.
Narrative.
Yes. You can invoke one aspect per fate point.
Right. So if you want to invoke, if you want to spend another fate point, you got to figure out a different aspect, either in the environment or on your sheet, about how what you're doing is better.
I can't really think of another thing. I'm fine with tying and succeeding at a minor cost. So I'm going to spend 1 fate point, so I can tie.
I'm gonna say so. The thing that you're hoping to accomplish to get people to go back to just go back to their homes and go into lockdown for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, what would a good minor cost this be? I am leaning towards.
Do I get trampled?
Oh my god! Maybe the people the people of town are like afraid of Pitter Patter because like they invoke fear in the people because
I was honestly just gonna go with. I think the majority of people start to go back to their homes. I think a few of them, just in the heightened emotions that are going on, I think actually a couple fights break out.
Well, that's normal here. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
But you do see that like
Man.
people are starting to flee back. Things are going into lockdown. Like it's much more calm, but you do feel there is now a mounting sense of like, okay, I didn't de-escalate the situation fully, but I bought us some time.
Yeah. I turned to look at the deputy. I made it better.
I didn't not de-escalate the situation.
I didn't escalate it, certainly.
Yeah. It's kind of plateauing.
The situation is plateauing.
The situation has been elated. Not escalated, not de-escalated, just elated.
It's been esked.
Right.
But yeah, so great. Things have calmed down a little bit. What are the rest of you attempting to do? Pitter Pat, you are speaking on the thing simultaneously. I believe some of you talked about potentially going into the town. Some of you are like, "What's going on?"
I want to investigate this thing. Like, I want to know, was this an expert
I'm
marksman?
sorry, this thing.
Yeah, the sheriff's death.
Oh, the corpse. You mean?
Yes.
The corpse of a good man who gave his life to help a community of like scared people.
Listen,
This
I'm
thing.
a Sith.
This
I'm a
thing.
Sith Lord. Okay?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But I'm still a Sith. Okay.
Well,
this thing, technically, leave it alone.
Rule of how many?
Rule of I'm
like,
here
rule
and
of,
there
like,
are none other on this planet.
Rule of 2 and a bit, unless everyone's feeling a little zesty that day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rule of 2 and a bit, unless Filoni decides that no one's whipped out a lightsaber in a few episodes.
True.
Lightsaber last episode.
Exactly. Someone did
But I
whip out
want
a
one
lights-
in red.
All in good time.
Anyway, yeah. So
I'll whip mine out eventually. Anyway,
so your plan.
Hey, yo.
So your plan: investigate the corpse.
Yes.
Pitter patter, trying to de-escalate the crowd. Cole, Kanor, and Shar. What do you want to do? Oh, and Mira. What do you want to do?
I wanted to, well, Kazron is like taking a look at the blaster bolts and like I want to know the answer to his question of like what were the patterns looking like? Are they like precise shots on the sheriff? Was there, because we heard 3 bolts, right? Like 3 blasts. Were there like
you heard 3 blaster shots? Yes.
Were they like one off in a distance, like missing a bunch? Did like how precise were these shots?
Roll me sort of a retroactive notice to recall what you were talking about. Oh, sorry. Are you talking about just based on the sound of them in the distance, or do you mean you want to know like?
No,
by
like where
looking
did
at the
they
blaster?
land? Like you could see the burn marks.
Gotcha.
On
No. So when you said
Yeah.
long distance, I misunderstood. Got you. So this is going to be an investigation.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking at
You're
his
looking
body.
for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you're looking for something specific. But before we go into that, I just want to know where everyone's placed. So Mira, Shar, Kanor.
Okay. You don't necessarily have to roll for every single thing.
I know, but this actually does require something.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys, you're in a murder mystery game. You're gonna have to roll some investigation checks.
Hell yeah.
But I actually do have answers for your questions.
Does this make me Scooby?
Maybe.
I think at the moment, with the amount of zany cartoon shenanigans, you're kind of bordering on Scrappy.
Fair enough. I'm also closer in size to Scrappy.
Kanor is definitely Shaggy.
I am Shaggy.
No, Kanor.
Oh,
not
Kanor?
Kazron.
Oh.
Yikes!
No, yep, he is Shaggy.
Row Kanor.
Yeah, I get it because he's an unemployed drug addict.
Wow.
Well, a gambler in my case, but you know.
Wow.
Whatever your drug of choice.
Adrenaline is the most dangerous drug. Aside from fentanyl.
Yes.
Anyway. So the rest of you, before we sort of... I just want to get all the pieces on the board so nobody gets left out and I know where to point the camera. Mira, Shar, Kanor, what are you doing?
I'm holding, waiting to see what everybody else does.
Okay.
While Kazron, is investigating the corpse, I'm going to be looking around at other buildings to try and see, like, did this come from ground level? Was this like a rooftop sniper? Like, how coordinated was this? Or was this
Gotcha.
just like some fucking guy in the street shot the sheriff?
I will tell you without taking so for you, I have an answer right away without taking the time to like, look at blast trajectory and like really try and figure out like in the weeds of it. It more or less seems like this was a, two desperados met in an old west town one late night. Like old school classic spaghetti western, two people like straight on at each other duel style. This wasn't like a sniper rifle from a building, it looks like. This
I think they got the
basically-
wrong 12 o'clock.
What's that?
You're supposed to meet at high noon, not low noon.
But yeah, I'm saying based on just like the way he fell, essentially. It doesn't look like, he got hit from like the roof where he would have fallen forwards or like no, it just looks like he got shot in the chest and fell over. Mira, Mira, do you have anything you want to look for, or are you also with Kano? We're just kind of standing by.
When everybody was talking about wanting to go to talk to the deputy, I said I was gonna go along with that, but
No, I meant specifically now that you're here.
Yeah, now that we've dealt with that, what do you want to do?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to investigate?
I don't know anything about getting the power back on, but I feel like that's so important.
I mean, you can look around for it, I guess. That is important. You're right.
Yeah.
Somebody should be doing that. That is a good idea.
I'm gonna try to figure out if there's anything I can do to help get the power back on.
Somebody should definitely take care of that. Not me, because I'm dumb. My crafts is a 0.
Okay, so
Your crafts is also a 0.
That's okay.
now, so what I will say, we're gonna pivot back real quick to the body investigation check. It is gonna be, we're gonna do this as a threshold, and I'm gonna cheat a little. I'm gonna be a sneaky little cheater. I'm not gonna tell you what the different thresholds are. Just roll an investigation, and I will give you a piece of information.
Everybody?
Whoever's looking at the body.
Oh.
Oh, so
You said investigation?
What?
Yes.
I don't think. What, did I say I was looking at the body, or I just wanted to know Kazran's information first?
yeah.
Oh, so you just want to hear from him? Okay, Kazran.
Yeah, he was the one who said that was what he was looking at, and I wanted
This-
to know the answer to his question.
This man is dead.
Oh, God damn it, you motherfucker!
You got,
Fine.
you got a -3.
I guess I'll help.
There is a whole.
Bada boom.
That's great.
All right.
We're not doing great.
This
We're doing it.
this man was likely killed by an energy weapon.
A lightsaber.
But it's good. We're putting the pieces together. We're putting them
We did it.
together.
We solved the mystery.
I will tell you,
He was shy.
superficial things, the sort of vest and jacket and everything he was wearing, there is a wide, like it is blown open in the front. Unless you're like literally stripping him in the street, which I do not think you would. It is blown completely open. It is a very wide blast. So either the weapon that he was shot with had an extremely powerful payload behind it, or extremely tight grouping on the shots.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like there's
So
it's
question.
the equivalent. It is the equivalent of getting shot with a shotgun, where it's like, did he get shot with 3 really close pistol rounds or 1 really big shotgun round?
So question.
Ah.
Since
Yes.
I'm a contract killer,
You see it, people? That's how you play the motherfucking game.
I'm still learning and I'm working with this. But because I'm a
I'm a
contractor,
I'm complimenting you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
because I'm
Yes,
a
yes.
contract killer, and I've seen my fair share of blaster bolts and shotguns
You've administered a few of them.
and I've delivered several of them.
You're probably not that much of a fan of them, but it's important to know the tools of the trade.
Right, because it's not always great to just pull out the lightsaber and stabby stab,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, but
throw
still,
it through someone's skull. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more,
Sure.
Subtle.
subtle with it.
Sure. So use that aspect if you would like to.
Yes.
I'm gonna recommend strongly that you re-roll, but don't let me guide your hand.
I think that I should really re-roll because no matter how many points you give me towards that, that's fucked.
It is always 2.
Okay.
But,
No, but
that
like
means
I
that
said,
Yeah, that's kind of the rule. It's like the rule of 2 or something. I don't know.
oh, funny.
hey, you can
We
make a
got
punishment
jokes
for this.
again. All right,
These are the jokes,
let's
people.
try this one more time. Son of a bitch.
Kazaron,
You got one.
with this new knowledge imparted onto you, you're 100% sure he's not coming back to life.
Ouch.
How high do we have to roll for these fucking things?
No, I'm kidding.
He's being
No, I'm giving you the superficial information. There is secret information that you have not unlocked. Superficial information. With that one, he was shot with one very large payload. The burn marks around the outside of the wound on his clothing look too uniform.
all right.
It does not look like a series of. First of all, people in this galaxy who are capable of shooting 5 shots through one hole.
Yes.
Like drilling a hole through somebody with a
Ooh.
blaster. You know people who can do that. This is not that. This guy was shot with something really big.
I have a question. I have a thing to investigate.
Okay.
We heard 3 shots.
You did in fact hear 3 distinct blaster shots.
Is his blaster out and like warm as if it had just been fired?
It is laying a few feet away from him on the ground. The barrel still glowing a faint orange.
Okay, so the other 2 were likely from the sheriff.
You pick up the his blaster is laying on the ground. It has been very recently discharged.
Can I look around to see where his shots landed?
Roll me.
Ooh.
I'll give you either notice or investigation. I will tell you
Both 0.
both 0, baby.
Hell yeah.
Completely irrelevant distinction.
Yeah. Wait, no, my notice is 2. How did I miss that?
I was gonna say I would recommend notice because more secrets.
I got 3.
Okay, so you're gonna unlock a little bit of stuff right now. So here's what you've got. Okay.
Well, I got.
Here's what you unlock. As you're looking around in the street, you're about the same height as the sheriff. So I think it's you sort of stand at his feet and like look down like thing and do the like holds up blaster in that position to think like, okay, whereabouts, like you're kind of looking around. As you look up, you see that the upper facade of one of the buildings, okay? So like off to your left, like up and to your left, the sign for one of the stores has a hole that has been blasted through it. And you look down and to your right, you see that a chunk of like the linoleum raised pavement area has been melted through by a blaster bolt.
I point to the sign.
And you also you look behind you, and one of the speeders that is parked on the street, you see it's very faint, and you probably wouldn't really like notice it too much. But you do in fact also see it is actually how do I put it? Basically, it's actually like looks damaged, and if you look a little bit closer, it has been shot.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there is a chunk of the pavement blasted out, off to your right and at the ground. There is up to your above and to your left a facade of one of the signs blasted apart, and then behind, like straight down Main Street, there is a speeder that has been shot as well.
How were there 4 blaster shots?
No, you distinctly heard 3.
Okay, well, I point the 2 out to Shar because he's looking for the location. So
Yes.
So there are 4 blaster marks in total, but we only heard 3.
There are 4 blaster marks in the sense that there are 3 that came from the sheriff and 1 in his chest.
Yeah.
You heard 3. You heard pew pew pew.
but we didn't hear the other guys there.
Pitter raises their hand.
Are there blaster silencers?
Pitter waves their hand.
Yeah.
So Pitter points out. So as you guys point out where the different blaster shots went, and that there is certainly a hole that resembles a blaster through this man.
A big one.
Yeah, what if it wasn't a blaster? What if it was like one of those swords?
I think we
just
all
kind of thought about that.
I think we all just came to that conclusion at the same time.
I will tell you this. This was not a lightsaber wound.
Oh, okay.
Lightsaber wounds are stabbing somebody like straight on with a lightsaber leaves a hole the size of like a little bigger than a quarter. It is perfectly round. They are very distinct. It also does not burn clothing. It literally goes in out. This was something big.
It cauterizes on its way back.
It cauterizes on the way out. This looks like he got shot with like a very large blaster or energy weapon.
I'm trying to recall. During the fight with the bandits, wasn't there something big that you described, Cole?
Mm-hmm.
A big blaster weapon?
They had some kind of tank or something, right?
The Imperials were using basically like a 2 or 3 man walker, and then they had something they called the pulsar.
Right.
That was able to push. That was able to topple the walker and push back quite a few of the Imperials. But you didn't get a good look at what it actually is. Now I will say this: as you're mulling over and looking at this in the street, things have mostly calmed down. Like I said, there's still a bit of fighting going on. There's people still there shouting. As like several places have just locked the doors and said, "Hey, if you're on the outside, fuck you. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I'm going inside." Like, it's causing a bit of distress. The people that are still in the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you're hanging out here trying to get the lay of the land, the deputy is sort of in the background, like trying to break up the fights and corral people down. You suddenly feel a impossibly bright light, bam, as it hits you from behind, and you hear a as the telltale.
Every time you do that, it peaks the mic and we don't hear it.
You hear the telltale whining rush of air of a TIE fighter lowering from the sky.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
Just to let you know, the
very,
pads
very
are on.
Incredibly bright spotlight. Boom! Lights all of you up. A speaker comes on. By the order of Imperial, by the order of His Majesty, the Emperor, Supreme Emperor Palpatine, you are ordered to step away from the body immediately.
Yeah, I will.
I'll put my hands in the air and step away.
Pitter kind of shades their eyes and looks up at it and is like, I think one of my people made that.
As you see stormtroopers marching in formation out to secure the street, You watch there's like a group of people that were, or there's like two people that were like in a shoving match in a stressful situation. The stormtroopers walk over, and they both do the thing of like, kind of put their hands up, like, "Hey, bro, we're chill, we're chill." Like, look, hey, sorry, we just got into it. Like, stormtrooper, shut up, civilian, and just wham, butt stock to the gut, drops him in one. As they begin just full on like everyone who is not inside or acting peaceful on the ground right now. Not you guys, but like to everyone around you as up. As you see a man, older gentleman, long gray coat or long black coat, various like badges pinned to the lapel, gray uniform under it with the knee-high black riding boots, telltale of his station. As he marches up, as the deputy kind of comes over with a, "Hey, howdy there, sir. Don't worry, we got all this under control here." As he just sort of brushes right past him, not paying attention, and he says, "This area is now being controlled in an investigation by Imperial occupancy. Back to your ears, back inside immediately, or you will be detained."
Ain't that a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
So, quick question.
He looks sort of disinterested and like he looks not like super freaked out. He looks more like I was working the graveyard shift and was really hoping that I wouldn't have to do any actual work, and motherfucker, I have to do some actual work.
So, how close is Shar and Cole to me?
I assume you're all standing within like probably within 10 feet of each other.
Yeah.
Like you're all gathered around
We're
a
all around.
body, so you can't be more than like.
I turned to them and I asked them, "So, we gonna let this go, or are we gonna tell him to shove off?"
Not much we can do against that.
I'd rather not anger the Empire at this moment. There will be time for that, trust me, but it's not now.
I don't like being told what to do.
You strike me as that kind.
Thanks. That's what I'm going for.
I don't like being told what to do. And then smash cut to like being a part of a religion that requires you to constantly refer to somebody as master and take a knee and be beaten.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
You have a moment of time for our Lord and Savior, Master Yoda.
Listen, I have my conflicts inside me, okay?
But yeah, so continuing on, what are you guys doing?
I don't think we're ready for this fight, so
Peter is approaching this man and asking him if he needs help.
Great. Peter's gonna just walk up to this Imperial officer.
Yeah.
Give me one
I've
sec.
worked with like Imperials before. They come to my planet asking for help all the time, so
That is actually not a terrible idea from the information that Peter has to work with. Great. He is standing there very like stiff-lipped and looking, like I said, just he's giving orders to the troops of just secure that area over there. And he goes, we'll be needing a new, like, we'll need a new forward base away from the barracks to investigate. And somebody get this body moved to a sterile area. I want to be commissioning an autopsy later. And looks down and goes, just, what? And kind of like is looking at you like he's not entirely sure. Like, is this thing? Does it talk? Is it something that we're going to hunt for sport later? What is this? What am I looking at right now? Like he's looking at you and he goes,
Hi. And then like I assume that he has some type of title that would be obvious by like what he wears. And because Peter just like I feel like Pitter might be a little face blind. So would remember people like this better by their outfits. So would assume his position based on his outfit. So would refer to him by whatever correct title would be assigned to that, and then would ask him if he needs assistance.
So this guy's title would be.
Good evening, Ossifer.
It would in fact be. I'm going to name him Commander Eastwick.
Cool. So Pitter basically starts, "Hello, Commander. Do you need assistance?"
Great, and just. No, as I've just explained, all civilians and non-imperial authority go back inside. This area is being cordoned off under orders from as a Supreme Imperial High Command.
Pitter thinks about that for a second and tries to think if
As you're
as those.
as you're thinking, it says, "Do you understand the words I am saying to you?"
Pitter nods and is like, "I don't think I'm technically a civilian, but I don't necessarily think I count as like an officer or anything. I don't know."
And great, he says,
Peter, these people have a way of dealing with him.
great.
With
He looks like his patience is only being kept in check by the fact that he finds a certain novelty in this interaction, as he just says, "Nonetheless," and he goes, "for the purposes of this interaction, you are indeed a civilian. Go back inside, or you will be detained."
Where? I don't mean the going back inside part. I know where I would go, but detained where?
somewhere
He
unpleasant.
looks at you and says, "Are you trying to?" Great, as he just asks,
No, I
"Are
mean
you
this
trying to mock
legitimately
me?"
because, like, no, I mean this for real. Because, like, either way, I'm gonna be stuck inside somewhere, so I just need to know my options so I know which place I'd rather be stuck in.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna roll willpower here to see basically how much of a dickhead this guy feels like being. Okay. He just says, he says, "This is your last warning." And he goes, you may go anywhere in the town, but," or he goes, "you may go anywhere in the town, but the area is cordoned off by Imperial authority." And he goes, "If you do not do so right now, then you will be detained and taken to an Imperial holding facility. And I promise you, it will be a rather unpleasant experience." And he goes, as you and the rest of these outer," or he says, "you and the rest of these," as he looks like kind of disgusted, as he says, he says, "these people in the outer ring will discover that your lives become increasingly more pleasant when you learn to live with the rules and civilization that the Empire seeks to bring you, and exceedingly unpleasant when you resist."
Pitter thinks about this and how technically they have on their own planet been living under the Empire's rule. And like it's fine, I guess.
I'm gonna say the rest of you do look over and you see this is Pitter Patter's Tiananmen Square.
Oh my god.
But like if the dude, it's like if the dude from Tiananmen Square was like holding up his phone with the Uber app, like, "Hey, are you Josh?" Just in case anyone wanted to intercede, but yeah, at the moment he's saying you have basically one more chance to either be arrested and taken to an Imperial holding facility or leave and go about your business, which is more convenient for both of us.
Okay. And then Peter just turns and starts going back towards the clinic.
I like the idea that Pitter just was given like, no, I want all my options, and I was given my options. It's like, all right, well, thanks. That's all I needed.
Yeah. Honestly, going to the Imperial holding facility sounds interesting, but he did follow it up by saying it would be unpleasant. So
Yeah,
because of that helped me make my decision.
How nice of this guy to fully explain both options.
Yeah, that's just what I needed. That's it. I just needed to understand. Now I understand. I go.
I will tell you, the clinic is in full lockdown at the moment from when you stepped out. The doc inside, really not fond of the Empire.
No.
Peter can't possibly understand why.
But yeah, so what are you all doing? You just sort of like kind of bowing off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight the Empire right now. Broad night light.
Broad night time.
I have had enough dealings with the Empire to know to be invisible at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, how do I become like wallpaper? Where
That's
the
right.
Empire knows I'm here, they know I'm here, but they're not at all inclined to really look at me or talk to me.
Yeah.
I just have to say, after that encounter, I love Peter all the more. This is so great.
I love the energy of just like this is the autism final boss.
Mhm.
Of just, you'll be taken to an Imperial holding facility. Can we stop at McDonald's on the way? It's like, can I take my own ride? My robot's faster. Like, I'll go, but I want to take my own car.
I'm just like, why do you guys need me to fix something there? I know you guys break stuff a lot.
In the other chat. There we go.
I love her so much. But anyway. But yeah, so you guys kind of bow off. Stormtroopers come in. They
Go to the tavern, I guess.
They pick up the sheriff's body and kind of swiftly begin loading it into more or less a body bag, but made of rigid plastic because it's sci-fi year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Actually, I'll say you see them place it on a metal platform, and they sort of fold up like a small border around it, and you see them hit some buttons on the side. There is a flash of light, and you see him frozen in carbonite as they lift him up and throw him in the bed of the space pickup truck.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems like a good way of preserving the evidence.
Pickup truck.
They throw him in the back of the space van.
That's great.
No. They say they're going to take him out when they get back to the shop, but it's already 3:15. You know their ass is going to wait till Monday.
Uh-huh.
What, Pitter? What was that? What was that, Pitter?
I forgot.
Yeah, so that is all the evidence that you guys have about this. And you know the Empire is now very intent on getting involved here, so you kind of all meet back up at the tavern to sort of debrief.
Interesting that the tavern doesn't lock down.
The tavern is not locked down because it is already sort of the de facto meeting place for people. And also people are really freaked out, and Cookie thinks that he'll be able to sell a lot of booze.
Fair
Go
enough.
behind the bar and start serving people.
Great. You start to head behind the bar to your position. He looks at you.
Listen, that's not a very nice thing to call my mother. Only for a little bit.
Great. He gives you sort of the, or you know what is great. He like looks at you, walks over to the register, takes the tip jar off the counter, glares at you with a look that says "Say something," and then walks into the kitchen.
All right, I'll give everyone drinks.
Yeah, everyone is sort of in that like calmed down a bit as they're just like, can't believe the sheriff's dead. It's like, who would do something like that? As everyone's trying to figure out like I mean, in a very literal sense, who shot the sheriff?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we know so far? There's a blaster bolt on the sign, through the sign, right? There's a blaster bolt at the end of the street
Yeah.
in a land speeder, and there's a bunch in the sheriff.
There's one big
there's
one in the
one
sheriff.
big one in the sheriff.
3
Definitely.
and
Real quick, I'm gonna present a visual aid real quick. Keep talking. I'm just gonna send you something in a sec.
so there were 3 blaster blasts heading away from the sheriff in 3 completely different directions: upper left, lower right, and behind him. And one
Yeah.
blaster through his chest. Did we figure out if it went through the front or the back? Do we know
That's
that?
a good question.
From what Ben was able to tell, from looking at him, it looks like he was, or from what Shar was able to tell, I apologize. It looks to you like he was shot in the, shot straight on in the chest.
Okay, so he was shot from the front, but he shot in 3 different directions around him. So either he thought he was surrounded, or something was moving around him quickly, maybe? Or maybe he never saw what was coming at him, so those are warning shots.
Huh.
I don't know. Like, what the fuck could have made the one in his in him is
Can
like that must be the one we didn't hear, because if all the blaster bolts probably sounded the same, it was probably his. It was probably him firing at the assailant, firing as he's falling backwards, and then firing as he hit the ground and it like landing out of like his arm above his head and like it firing behind him.
So real quick,
yeah.
I am going to send a quick visual
question.
aid and feel for. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can I roll lore to see if I would know what would make a blaster shot like that?
Not without getting more. Yeah, I'll say you can. So real quick, I'm just gonna give this a breakdown real quick. So if you look at the image I just sent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Image I just
Right.
sent. The sheriff's body is laying at the end of a narrow street like that. The arrow
Yeah.
indicates he was facing right down. That just to show you like the degree of curve I'm talking about on the shots.
Oh, so he was all
Where's
over
the one
place.
behind him?
There is none behind him.
Uh-huh.
One went straight down Main Street to hit the speeder. One
Oh, I
curved
thought the
off to
speeder
the right.
was behind the sheriff.
Yeah.
So no. I must have misspoke then. No, it is not. They are all facing the same direction,
Oh.
but just curved off in like very different paths. I apologize. That's why I drew this.
Okay, so clearly he was firing wildly. He seemed like a better shot when we were fighting before. So clearly he got shot first.
So the couple
and,
times you
like,
saw him shoot,
shot-
it was fairly pinpoint accurate. And real quick,
Yeah.
Kazron, if you want to roll, just tell me passively what's your investigation.
It's just to see if I can recall.
Lore. I apologize. What's your lore?
Like, if I would have either used or encountered.
No. I'm asking what number do you have in lore?
Okay, 2.
You have a 2. Without like looking at the wound itself, it would be more. It would be no, because you really didn't like
dig
look
deep
at the
in there.
wound. You were looking at without like stripping him down and like actually doing a semi-autopsy, it's hard to say for certain. You've seen people who like fell like close to a plasma grenade have had similar burns, although with more like concussive power behind them. You have seen like there's scatter guns, which is this universe's equivalent of a shotgun that could have done like the kind of spread, like the more erratic spread pattern. There's a few weapons that could have done it. It would be this was it. It's weird to you, and I'll say because the speed at which this was done, to like the speed with which this whole thing went off and then the person disappeared, would indicate someone who knew what they were doing. This wound, however, is not a professional. The couple people you've met that like weapons like this are usually sloppy. Most of the people you deal with prefer either a long gun, or like a long gun where they can shoot one shot from really far away, or a blaster or a handheld blaster where they can just walk up behind somebody in a crowded bar, pop them twice in the liver, and disappear.
Yeah.
It's an unconventional weapon.
Mm.
Like, that's what you can tell without looking at it. I'm just going to give you the information. Whatever this is weird and kind of unconventional. You could probably parse out something of what is. There's something familiar about it. Like, you're definitely on the edge of, like, I've seen this somewhere. Where the fuck have I seen this before? But nothing's springing to mind at the moment that... Nothing's, like, jumping to you of, like, aha!
Interesting. Question. How many Imperials
Also,
are outside?
So real quick, also just for atmospheric / plot hole sake, the tavern that you're in, the Starlight Saloon, does in fact have like a small generator to keep the lights on, but it is like every few seconds or so you just get like the because it's kind of a piece of shit. As everything sort of like everything kind of flickers.
Peter is now over there dealing with that. I'm sorry, there was a conversation happening about murder, but now there's a malfunctioning electronic and Peter has to deal with that instead.
We'll cut over to you in a sec because I feel like this is more important, but that'll be a fun interlude in the perpetual C plot that is Peter's wacky crafting adventure. Peter is just the wall plot from the what's that one show? Justin Roiland's Totally Not Rick and Morty TM. Anyway, how many Imperials are outside? I would say it's calmed down a little. In that they're not like actively swarming. I'd say immediately like outside the bar, there's just a couple, like 2 or 3 that are walking by. Total, like throughout this area of the town, probably 10 or 20.
Okay.
Well, sorry. I will say all the ones that are out there are stormtroopers. There are no Imperial officers who are walking around. They're just rank and file stormtroopers.
So I turn around to everybody and I ask them, so are we going to just let this go? Or are we going to try to investigate this more?
We'll investigate it more once these losers are out of here, basically. Once these bucket heads have gone.
Knowing what I know about Imperials, they ain't leaving anytime soon.
I mean, they usually just show up, do their thing, and then fuck off as soon as it's not profitable for them anymore.
Then maybe we should get the power back on. And maybe they'll leave.
Are there any other patrons in the bar?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, there's patrons in the bar. This is
the only place that has power.
It's the only place that has power. Plus, it's a frontier town, and people are scared. They're gonna want to drink.
Yeah.
Like this is all, as I said, this is already the sort of de facto town gathering area. I mean, there's not really like a town square per se. So if you want to get the place where the most amount of people are in one place at a time, this is it.
So I walk over to Kanor. What powers this city?
Oh, that's a very good question. Would I know that?
Is Kanor the kind of person who has an extended interest in civic engineering?
Not really.
Like,
I'm just saying.
It's never been a passion of his.
could you tell me off the top of your head right now where the nearest power station is in your city?
As a matter of fact, I can because I've been there.
Okay, well,
worked for it.
I was gonna say that's you're maybe the wrong person to ask, but you get what I'm implying.
Yes, I do.
Great. You're the first answer that springs to mind, and I will let you decide whether or not to say it. Electricity.
Okay.
Of what powers this city? Do I want to be a prick and just say electricity?
I thought it was rock and roll, but okay.
No, that's what
No,
Electricity
that's
is
what
good,
built.
too.
That's what builds the city.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's where I got confused.
See, that's the foundation because they built the city on rock and roll. And as a matter of fact, this is a primarily stone planet with an increased seismic activity. So it literally is built upon rock and roll.
Hey,
Yeah,
how about that?
Caitlin made a good point in the other room. This is science fantasy. It's obviously powered by crystals.
No, actually, Ben, I think if you pay attention to Star Wars, it not being powered by crystals is kind of a huge thing.
Yeah.
It being powered by crystals would raise a lot more questions.
I don't know, Kanor. When the power goes out, we just keep our fingers crossed until it comes back on, which isn't all that often.
What, that it comes back on or that it goes out?
Then it goes out. It's
Okay.
usually pretty reliable.
Peter might know. I feel like that's a place Peter probably tried to go to at some point.
And yet
I
he
keep-
never, and yet he didn't ask.
Yeah,
I
he
asked
did.
the
He was
barkeep.
busy.
I always
Funny
ask the
how he went
barkeep.
he went right to ask the white man.
That's not what I did. I went to ask the barkeep. Okay.
Yeah, because the man serving drinks instead of the small creature working on an electrical problem right now seems like the better option.
I never
went to
said
the-
I was brilliant. I just said I asked a question. Honestly, I forgot that Pitter was here already.
Wow.
You know, that big flying eyeball just came and left. Maybe it had something to do with the power going out. Do you suppose it shot it or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need a drink and I'm talking to the wrong chief here.
The right person for a drink.
One Pangalactic Gargle Blaster coming right up.
I will say, Pitter,
Yes.
you have looked into wanting to go look at the generator, correct?
Yes.
Great. You kind of see the utility room where you think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk over, you just hear, and you feel a large furry hand grab you by more or less the scruff of the neck.
I look up.
Cookie is standing above you, holding you with a look of, I'm a restaurant owner and a random patron has just decided to walk into the electrical room and start fucking with my breakers.
I mean, I hang out here all the time, constantly fixing things for like everybody.
Oh,
So,
no, that's a good point.
yeah.
I
Like-
still think he's going to give you a look of like, what the fuck are you doing? Because
I hold up a screwdriver.
I truly believe it's impossible to get used to Pitter doing this because and tell me I'm wrong, it's equally as likely that Pitter has just decided that the copper wire in your walls would make a fantastic addition to their new project.
Honestly, all you have to do is ask Peter. They will tell you directly.
It's like, what are you doing out there? I'm going to steal all of your light bulbs.
It would be as simple as
I
calling them
need
out.
them. I need them.
But also, if Pitter
I
knows you,
need them.
they're less likely to steal from you, because then they consider it stealing. So they would ask first.
Great. Do you want to explain to him that you want to go fix the generator?
Yes. Also, as I decided early on in the game, I do understand Wookiee, so I do understand him when he speaks to me.
Great. Then he says literally like what are you doing? And if you explain that, he just says the generator is working fine.
As the lights flicker again, I point to the ceiling where the light is flickering. Sure? Because, like, I can make it not do that.
Great. He just says that the old hunk of junk has worked fine for years. There's no need to go messing with it.
Peter looks so disappointed. I mean,
you
I did.
want to roll rapport?
Sure. Let's see if I can convince them. Does my sad face convince you? The 3.
Great. It's as it just as he looks and like peeks back into the kitchen to see if his oven is like holding heat or not. Great. He basically tells you you've got 5 minutes, and if that generator is not at least in the same shape as when he said to fix it, and he said don't improve on it, don't modify it, don't take it apart and completely put it back together again. Don't put it on wheels, or don't put it on wheels in case I decide I want to race it later. No, it does not need a flamethrower.
Wait. What's a wheel?
No, wheels exist in the Star Wars universe.
One thing.
General Grievous's fucking weird motorcycle.
That wasn't even wheels.
It had a big wheel.
That's a stretch to even call that thing a wheel. It had legs. I'm talking about the Republic turbo tank. This is the one thing that had fucking wheels.
Honestly,
There's an article on Wikipedia named "Wheeled Vehicles."
also, even if there weren't wheels, I wouldn't put it past Pitter to have invented them and have tried to use them at that point here. So nobody else. But
Pitter invented wheels. Oh my god.
My god.
Cute.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Though Pitter continues to pout, they are at least excited that they get to fix the thing, and they agree.
It's just fix it. Don't do anything weird to it.
Okay.
Make it shoot lasers.
I understand.
Great.
It belongs to you, and you have asked me to do this thing. I will do this thing.
Yeah. Kazaron, for what it's worth, I will say you do see Pitter having this conversation because Wookiees are not quiet. So you overhear this conversation, at least one end of it, and then see Pitter like disappear into the electrical room.
Make it ignore the laws of thermodynamics.
So I feel as if I must say these two things. So earlier, Peter was having a pouting Peter. I got dang. I was trying to make it like a tongue twister and it messed up.
Powder party.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that. And then when they go to the electrical room, I think it would be more apt to say Pitter Skitters over there. Just, yeah.
So I have a question, right? Let's say that Pitter was moving across the ground in a somewhat erratic fashion. That would be acceptable to say that Pitter was skittering, correct?
Yes. Also,
now, let's say
Let's
say that Pitter was moving across the ground in a somewhat erratic fashion towards a gaggle of recently born kittens. What would you describe that as Pitter skittering towards the litter?
Suppose.
What if Pitter was moving erratically across the ground towards a gaggle of newly born kittens and the person assigned to watch them while their owner was away? Would you say that Pitter was skittering towards the litter sitter?
All right.
I think
Oh,
so.
All right.
we
Well,
can go
yes,
on.
Pork Out and Pitter skittered towards the litter sitter. There we go.
Yep.
Post about it on Twitter.
Either way, what do you call it? But yeah, so the rest of you, what are you doing? Kazron is obviously you're sort of getting your ducks in a row of what information you had. As you said, Sheriff is standing in the street, fired off 3 shots that went in vastly different directions, and then took a large blast to the chest, which ultimately killed him, but you did not hear it.
And I'm nursing a drink at this point. I turn around to everybody else. I'm like, I'm gonna sit here and think about this for a minute. When y'all are ready to go fix the power and figure out where to fix the power, just let me know. Yeah. By the way, the barkeep knows nothing.
We know. We've been hanging out with him for days.
It's like the barkeep knows nothing. You're just kind of looking like, is he suddenly like embarrassed to admit he knows knows Kanor?
Not embarrassed, but very confused as to his knowledge on a place where he's been staying.
Again, do you know the exact he knows it's run on electricity and presumably a generator somewhere.
Yep.
Now, a power plant does need workers to function.
It needs what?
Workers.
Okay.
Which means somebody, if this is the largest gathering of people, somebody here does know where it is.
That's not incorrect.
Well, I was saying that to Kazron.
I know, I'm encouraging you.
Yeah, but that's going to require me to talk to one.
That's how you investigate stuff. Is this your first time?
He normally doesn't stick around for this part of the murder.
Exactly. I don't want to say that to him, but I'm like, I don't normally investigate things.
I will tell you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I'll say you overhear a couple people, right? Say that this place is getting crowded. And one of them says, this place is getting too crowded for me. He says, I'm going to head over to the guild hall. Or says, yeah, I'm going to head over to the guild hall. And that place always has power. Hell, maybe at least... Are you like interrupting them to ask this?
Yes.
Right, he gives you like a weird look and he goes, yeah.
I'm new in town.
Oh, Bounty Hunters Guild. He says the guild's got a separate generator, so that he says it's a much newer building because they just got it. He says it just got renovated, so the generator will be much newer. Better than this piece of crap.
So nobody's ever seen Kazron's eyes light up, but for a second there's a spark. There's a small spark in his eyes when he says Bounty Hunters Guild.
I do want to mention the session that you were gone. Cole was informed that there is a Hunters Guild in town, but didn't think that it was relevant information. Oh, was it Bounty Hunters? We didn't mention it to you.
No, I didn't. Not important.
He tells you that. I mean, this place has better drink. Like, it's nice to be able to get a drink. and like something to eat, but it's getting too crowded in here, and says they're gonna head over there. And honestly, they tell you that
There's still Imperials outside. If you leave, then they'll probably be pissed. So I wouldn't recommend it, bud.
Go from the Shonda. Great. He goes, I'll wait for things to die down a little bit then. He goes, but if I were you, or he says, but he basically says, I'm headed over there, see if I can scare up some work or see if he can scare up some work, maybe pick up a puck or two, and hopefully find a way off this rock. This random dude.
Kevin.
Give me 1 second to let my mom. Be right back.
Yeah. Also, I want to clarify. I didn't. When I said, "Have you never investigated anything before?" I wasn't talking about murder. I meant you've never lost your keys and then had to ask somebody where your keys are. It's the same principle.
I apologize. I was out of the room. What were you asking, Daniel?
Oh no, I was
asking me a question. So when you said investigate something, when was the last time a Sith or Jedi forgot where they parked their speeder?
You know,
when was the last time a Sith or a Jedi forgot they parked their speeder?
I didn't say that out loud, but
okay.
I'm saying that out of character.
Oh,
But that's what Kazan's thinking in his head.
All the time. There's that whole bit where Obi-Wan found his lightsaber and he's like, "Don't fucking lose your lightsaber, idiot!" And then he lost his whole arm.
Yeah.
With the lightsaber in the hand.
Yeah.
Facts.
Also, Kazaron, for the record, this gentleman is named Vinian. You actually remember him from a couple days ago. Remember the Twi'lek who got into a fist fight with a dude because he said that his sister was a whore? And then he was like, she works at a brothel, you moron. She is a whore.
Oh.
This is the guy.
What was the name again?
Vinian. He is a mutated human. And basically, yeah, he's just like a random town goer. But yeah, you just remember that as the notable event upon meeting him, that he's apparently a customer over at the brothel where we were hiding out a day or so ago.
Interesting. Okay. Moving along.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him real quick. You wouldn't happen to know where the town's like power comes from, like what building?
Do I know where the town's power?
You know, like their big generator. You know, the town generator.
You're generating whole towns.
He kind of scratched his head and he's like, "Wow." He goes, "No." He goes, "Not really." He says they generate it through some kind of, what do you call that? And he goes, "There's some building on the edge." He says, "There's some building on the edge of town. Something to do with the ground always blowing up." He goes,
There we
go. They turn that into power somehow. I don't. He goes, he says, "I don't do much with it."
Anybody in here do something with it that you know?
You said doo-doo.
Yes, I did.
He says, not I know off the top of my head. He goes, "No, not that I know off the top of my head." Oh, there's, well, I don't know if he says, "I don't know if you want to count it as doing something with it. That moron Idion. He goes, he worked there for a bit, but he'd been laid off for a while. And to be
Where's he
honest,
at?
I wouldn't. And he says I wouldn't really trust much of what's in between his, or I wouldn't really trust much of what's in between his Leku if I were you. And he says,
Understandable.
he says,
Like
he-
he's a
he's a-
racist.
no, he's just
Why? Because it's got Leku instead of ears.
Yeah,
I mean, I
no,
don't
he's a
know.
Twi'lek. He's a Twi'lek.
They still have ears.
Do they? I
Only-
honestly didn't know.
Only the men do.
Oh, great. Then
Women, the women have cones.
great. Then he says ears, but excuse me for trying to add a little bit of fucking magic to the universe.
Yeah,
I liked
jackass.
it. Oh,
Excuse me for trying to make it special. But yeah, he just tells you, like, he's a fucking
and he's
moron.
over there.
He tells you
He's over there.
probably, kind of like looks around the room and great, like gestures off in the corner of somewhere. Like he's probably losing, like he's probably off losing what little credits he's got over in a game of Sabak.
Okay. Thank you very much, and don't get killed by Imperials, please.
He waves it off. He goes, "The Imperials are." Now, I'm not gonna say they're harmless, but to be honest, most of the time you just keep your head down. They got more important shit to be dealing with than harassing us. You know,
Yes,
sir,
of
no,
course.
As he
Of
does
course
the
they do.
yes sir, no sir, praise the Empire, sir.
Oh. Okay. So, guys,
Yeah. There we go.
there's a dude over there gambling money away that might know about the town's generator or power source or
I think now would be a good time for Peter to come back and say, "What about a power source?"
Mm.
I'm like waiting for Peter to show up so I can be like, hey, do you want to be helpful?
Peter's like, "Of course. What do you need help with?"
We need help getting the power back on.
Peter stops for a second, looks back up at the lights.
No,
Wait.
like now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Are we going
It
now?
is kind of your whole thing.
lead the way.
Getting stuff to work.
Yeah.
Lead the
Are
way.
we gonna go now?
Because Peter lived here, maybe she knows.
Okay.
That's
Peter starts
actually a
walking towards the
pretty
door.
good idea.
Like I was just
I'm sorry,
sitting
what
up
were you saying?
there and like waiting for Peter to walk through the door to ambush her.
Real quick. So what were you saying?
I was saying that as soon as Peter walked through the door, I wanted to ambush her and ask if she would like to be helpful.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Peter's immediate response is, "Of course, how?"
And then I told her that we need to get the power for the town back on.
And Peter agrees.
Well,
And
you
it's like,
do
"Are we
know
going
that you do know that someone's probably working on it. You know what I mean?
But it's not fixed yet. So are they doing a good job?"
Literally my thoughts exactly.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Peter is heading towards the front door right now. They were never told how long they needed to stay here. So if nobody stops them, they're just gonna go now.
I follow the Pitter.
Okay. I do want to ask. It is 10:07. Is the cutoff time here, or can we go a little bit longer?
I can, but
My cutoff time is now, but
I'm gonna say. I am actually going to say I think this is a pretty good stopping point. You have your agenda for next time of you're going to go investigate the power plant on the edge of town.
Yeah.
I will say for Pitter
We're gonna
Patter,
come back on.
you actually do have a special interest in civic engineering.
Yeah.
So you actually do know where the power comes from. They use a combination of
not crystal.
solar power and geothermic energy from the geysers.
Yeah.
Basically, underneath the town, like there's a giant slab that goes into the earth, or the planet. You haven't really know exactly how it works, but it harnesses the geysers and seismic activity, turns it into power.
Pretty cool. Kind of
There is an access building on the edge of town. You can also get into it other ways, but it's really fucking stupid to do so.
Okay.
It's like Scooby and the gang have a
Yep.
mystery to solve.
We got to go to the power plant to turn back the power for Mauville City. That's the plan.
Is that a reference song?
Yeah, I was
So,
literally
yeah.
like thinking, like, what are you referencing?
Yeah, to Pokemon in
Reference
Gen
from
3. You
you.
got to turn the
Okay.
fucking power back on to Mauville City.
I didn't know that. I'm so good. I'm stealing shit from franchises I don't even play.
Or we got to go, or like in fucking the other one where you have to go turn the power back on for Lumio City.
Yeah. That's,
Or in the other one where you got to
X1.
turn the power back on for the, like every game has that.
Yeah.
They all have, that's where you catch all the electric Pokemon. That's where we're going to go. And we're going to go catch electric type Pokemon.
Dude, can I catch a Magnemite?
Maybe.
The last time I played a Pokemon game all the way through was Diamond and Pearl.
Well, you're a fucking failure and not a Pokemon master.
I never
That was so hard.
claimed to be a Pokemon master.
Well,
Like,
clearly
if
you're
you
not.
didn't add and not a Pokemon master, that's like 1,000 times worse.
I know.
Like,
Okay.
yeah,
And on that note,
you're a failure and your parents aren't proud of you.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream.
Good night, everybody.
Adios.
goodbye.
Goodbye.